Oh yeah, hello. I had my microphone muted on the handset. I had a really good intro as well. I've read a table. I'm not doing all that again. Drew. Bollocks. Schnizzle. Thanks, Speedy Man Charles, for highlighting that one. Good evening. All right, here we are for round 7 of the AXR GTWEC round 2, the GT World Endurance Championship. We're on round 7. We're at Road Atlanta, and I feel like I'm repeating myself. I fancy being on mute. I usually check everything. Do you know why? Because I've been playing a lot of GTA online lately, and I don't want to talk to people in them rooms. I tell you, there is no chatting from me. So I just put my mic on mute so I can sing away to myself. But yeah, how embarrassing. I've read a table and everything. I've got to do the table again. Give me a second. I was going through the grids and everything. Right then. So Stacilla Racing's at the top on 220 points with Clockwork Apex in second on 181 points. Clockwork Vertex on 180 points. AXR are in fourth on 166 points. Scuderia Chiara are in the one after them on 165 points. Garage, he doesn't put position, so Garage 96 is on 117 points. Speedbot Motorsports are on 98 points. AequepaX Racing are on 81.5 points. Full Throttle Racing are on 49 points. Chiara Corsa are on 45.5 points. THG, the Humble Guys Racing Team Finland are on 41 points. It's a good job I did that again, because I called them Racing Team Holland the last time round. Yeah, we're here for round 6, and so far Noir Anteras is tearing it right up. He's on the top of the grid at the moment, pole position in his BMW, with GT Racer, the other Clockwork driver, in second spot. These guys are dominating these first races I've covered of late, the last 2 or 3. These guys have been untouchable. Floris for Garage 96 is third on the grid so far in the Audi, and I put them down for choosing the Audi, saying it was an undrivable heap of dog's poop, and they've proven me wrong. So well done, Garage 96. You are the Dons. Speedy Man Charles in the chat saying GTA is mega toxic. It is, but my kids are getting into it. So it's great playtime for father and sons. We go on heists. We dropped off a load of cocaine today. Great family times with my 15-year-old and my 12-year-old. What more fun can you have than dropping off a couple of kilos of cocaine? It's in a game. If anyone's monitoring this, I'm sure it's allowed. And so, early stops. Look, they're having to make stops during quali, so those tyres are getting torn up rotten guff. So, Speedy Man Charles saying, selling cocaine, how family friendly, LMAO. I know. They were teaching me about drugs. I went and toured my son's meth lab. It was an eye-opener. So, Nibles is fourth for Stacilla Racing, and they don't want to lose any more points. They couldn't make last round, and they've given Clockwork, who are on the Memento at the moment with the Beamer and the Corvette, an opportunity. And you only need half an opportunity in racing to make a move. Fifth on the grid so far is Fred Dude, and I believe he had a win. I think he may have done. I'm not sure. I do have the second race on, but where Stig, or I like to call him Sicknote, hasn't been commentating lately, then Stigmata something. Where Sicknote's not been around, I only kind of half keep an eye on the race, because I've got other things to do. You know, life is a busy thing, but I do like to keep an eye on the second race. And I think AequepaX saying out of control thingamajig, I went and toured my son's meth lab. AequepaX saying Fred did win stint 2 last time out. Love heart. Yeah, so Fred got a win. He's been grumbling. I wouldn't call it moaning. Grumbling's a little less than moaning, but there has been slight grumblage from Fred Dude about his speed. He's not used to not being the fastest person on track, so it's well deserved and well needed for Fred's ego. He was losing grip of himself. His world was spiralling out of control. And there he is, third on the grid, looking for another win. So Fred Dude in the Gen X. He's going to make some magic happen tonight. Flores for, 3 seconds. What's that? A pit exit, we reckon? Nibbles down in 5th, but we know the McLaren not overall fast, but in the Finnish brains and their strategical ways and their way of fuel saving and looking after tyres is still a very big danger in the race ahead. Even from 5th place, Evil Dragon for Full Throttle Racing, still probably getting his hang of that Audi as they swapped over from the Gen X to the Audi. And J special livery from, I can't remember what team it is. It's got it written on the front. Is it the Humble guys? Are they back? I wrote them off. Gee, no, is that SBO Racing? I can't remember what team J drives for now, but they've swapped over to Corvette. I'm not sure, but it's a special livery for this race in good old United States of America. Yeehaw! And 8th. I don't know them either. I want to say that's Scuderia Chiara, or not the other ones. Chiara. I don't know. My brain. Yeah, no, that is Scuderia Chiara. They've got to be getting further up the field than that. They need big points. They're in the battles. So Noir Anteras, he's absolutely banging them in. He's half a second faster than the Corvette, and it's looking like this is his track. This is his domain. GTP Racer gets it down to just shy of 4/10. Fred Dude still in 3rd, Flores in 4th, Nibbles is in 5th with Evil Dragon 6th, J is 7th, the J-Man, and Irish Fox is in 8th place so far. And Noir Anteras then, we're going on a lap with Noir. We're just coming up to the last part of it. We'll sit in for, unless he goes in the pits. How long have we been doing this for? About 12 minutes. I think they've still got a good 3 minutes. It might be crazy times to go in the pits, because they might just get an out lap and not quite get a lap in. I'm unsure, but coming down to the chicane, we've sat on board with the pole sitter, and he's had an absolutely cracking session so far. That car's on rails, he goes into the pits. You get sat with 2nd place, GT Racer, as Noir goes in and gets a fresh set. They're all going to do it, aren't they? They're all going to... No, thank you, G. Thank you, my GT Racer. So on board, heading down to the first corner. It's quite blind. We're braking late. We're flying in, throwing it out. That Apex, that car slid through the corner. He didn't drive it. He skated it through. Blind over the top, braking because it's to the left. Then shake it to the right. Keep pushing to the right, but then you've got to flip it back left again. And you've got to try and do this gracefully without losing too much traction. Heavy on the brakes for over the hill. Go as deep and as far wide as you dare onto the curb to carry on as much speed down this short straight. Then it's a little lift, is it? No, he's knocking down a few gears here. Last time I did this, it was in a GT4 and it wasn't as fast as this, I can tell thee. Oh, and GT Racer having a good big bit of mud on the other side of the curb there. Has it affected his time? I haven't seen any sectors, to be in fairness to you. And then up and the lovely long straight. This is where we're going to see the action in the up and coming race, as they get a good drive out of that final corner down this straight, and they're going to be into the braking zone, and it's going to be battle on in this chicane. We're going to see some broken hearts and some heroes and maybe some zeros coming out of that corner and sitting on the Corvette. Then round that final corner, no lift intended, no lift needed, and he floors it, but he cannot beat his own time. A beautiful lap though nonetheless around a Road Atlanta. Kyle in the chat saying Fred got lucky, and Kyle saying he's just saying is all. Don't. We're being kind to Fred and his ego at the moment. He's just lost 3rd place to a Floris, the Flying Dutchman out there, living life large in the Audi. And we've got 3 different manufacturers on the top 3. Fred Dude snatches it back. He will not lose that 3rd spot. Floris into the pits. That's him done for the day, I reckon. And he got 3rd and lost it and just thought, what the hell. So let's have a look at Nibbles, see how his sector times are doing. As he comes around, we know the McLaren is a struggle to get an out and out flying lap. It's through a race where the car comes into its own, but the Finnish drivers have been doing wonders with it. Frequency and Nibbles, I believe they're the main drivers. There's probably another one, but I can't bother to open that app. It's Discord, but then I have to go into another different, like Open Word or Word Plus or some sort of Microsoft evil thing, like people using Android. Oh, that's it. Sorry, we're all finished. So no, Noirs is still on. So if Nibbles did not go any faster, Evil Dragon on a push now, but he's just picked up half a second. That's not going to help his cause. In 6th in the Audi. There's a couple coming towards the line though. I've got to find them. One's Irish Fox. One is Floris. Floris coming up towards the line. Oh, sorry. The next one's crossed the line. Missed 1 or 2. I think Fred Dude just crossed the line to grab 3rd. So Floris will be heading for that position. But didn't he have a penalty when we come to him? Going up and over the hill. Oh, it's only an outlap. He's not going for it anyway. So Irish Fox, can he get 0.08 of a second in this final run? And he does not, unfortunately. JL's finished in 7th. Evil Dragon looks like he's still... He is on a run. Is Evil Dragon in the Audi? He might be the last one on a run, and he's wiggling the car around. He's not doing a time. No, he's not doing a time. So the grid is Noir Antares with GT Racer in 2nd, Fred Dude in 3rd, Floris 4th, Nibbles 5th, Evil Dragon 6th, and all the others. 17-0 Noir washed up. He cleaned up. Oh, let's have a look then. So here are the grid. 17.003. So close, eh? To knocking it into the 16s on the Beamer. GT Racer, Corvette in 2nd. Fred Dude 3rd. Floris 4th. Nibbles 5th. Evil Dragon 6th. Jerry in 7th. And Irish Fox starting in 8th place. It's going to be exciting. I'll have a little sip of my refreshment, waiting for this bad boy to kick off. Maybe I should have taken longer on the grid. It's only 8 cars. There's not much more I can say about them. They all did very well. Kyle asking for his P45 there. Is he an AXR clan? I thought it was just a negative dude that popped into the chat and decided to try and bring us all down because they were having a bad day. Bumming us all out, man.
Lol.
Carl lolling. I was going to start saying, Carl, man, you're kind of like a bummer, right, man? We're all trying to have a good time here. You're just trying to bring the room down. Go on, just express yourself, Carl. I say freedom for all.
Unfortunately.
I'm Noah's teammate, unfortunately. What do you mean? He's been getting good points. He's let GT Racer beat him a few times, though. More times than I would guess. He would have liked to. It would be a lot more closer to Sticilla Racing if it wasn't for that pesky GT Racer from the races I've seen. I don't see the second ones. Exciting news, though. Sick Note's done it again. So it looks like you've got me for a second stint. So Stigmata, we'll start calling him. Stig. I never ever remember watching Top Gear and them saying, oh, we can't take this car around the grid because Stig's sick. So Come on, Groot, what are we doing? You give me, it's like giving me rope to hang myself, just leaving me hanging. Because then I start saying more and more things and it goes wrong. I can start talking about the Russian war, if you want. Good on the Wenger boys, eh? The Wagners, whoever they are. Stand up to the man. There's someone played them Rage Against the Machine and they went, yeah. So good on them. Try not to say too much about submarines because it's tender, just like the tuna. Come on, Groot. That's it. That was it. That was the one. That's the one that cooked it. Mentioned submarine. He's off on his way. Bon voyage. Oops. Dropped it. Okay. On to spectate. I've got to do all that silly stuff with the replays. So Noir and Terrace then on a pole, waiting for them lights. Fingers crossed to the lag god. Be kind to... Oh no, their names are on. Sorry. That never happened to me. That's what she said. So Noirs then pulls away in the Beamer like a boss and owns that. But the Corvette in the second stage of that straight was biting hard at the heels of the Beamer, and it's race on. No team orders in that scenario. I tell thee, Fred Dude off to a great start with the Gen X, and it's a Floris all up and in his business in the Audi, and they all mean business on the first lap. They all know this is a very long race. It's 90 minutes, and you can't be a hero on the first lap. So best not to be. Jay then in 7th with Irish Fox in close quarters. Noir and Terrace then he has to keep that safe, and it's going to be about tyre wear here. It's who can maintain. We're going to see a lot of pit stops, I believe, because Road Atlanta is not kind. As we can see, Floris has gone with a medium set of tyres, as has Nibles as well. They want to go deep. Evil Dragon as well does not want to be dictated by the tyres, but to control his own destiny with the fuel, as many of them have at the further back. But Noir has gone with the softs. So has a GT Racer. Fred Dude also starting on the softs, and it's all the way down to 4th place. There'll be a gap, and we'll be presented with 2 races between the fields, the softs and the mediums. But at the moment, Floris in no man's land ahead of the McLaren of Nibles. Evil Dragon, great driving from the throttle. It looks like lag is good all around for everyone, but he is being caught by the Finnish driver. JJ is on it like a car bonnet. Noir's then 6/10 ahead of his teammate, and everything is sitting secure and tight, and as it should be. The Gen X, it looks like Fred Dude's sitting back on that car, not going on the attack straight away. We've got to think of our tyres, boys, haven't we? We've got to think of those tyres. It's a delicate race, and those tyres will be extremely fragile come in about 10 minutes, I reckon, judging by qualifying. Nibles then in that 5th spot. He's pulled a gap out to the Audi of Evil Dragon, and that Audi is some powerhouse down the straights. So Nibles, all great stuff. That's all through driving through the corners, I believe. And Nibles, we know, can save fuel like no other. Noir Anteras then leads the way with GT Racer in a 2nd spot, being closely followed by Fred Dude, and Floris 4th in the Audi. Now, the Audi we've seen in previous races that I've watched, it's very strong in the first part of the race, but as soon as the pit stops start happening, it seems to lose its edge. So let's hope Floris can stay with those leaders for as long as possible before those pit stops start happening, because then we see Nibles will get by with a superior fuel strategy. Ooh, half a second there for Nibles, going a little across the white line there, I believe. So he's got to be careful of them. And the Evil Dragon will love that. That's going to close him right up to about half a second, I think. It's a net loss of probably a second. There you go, up along that straight as well. It's going to be painful. It'll be very quick. but painful for Nibbles. There you see the time dropping now, 7 tenths. He's got the toe, 4 tenths, 3 tenths. He's going to be upon him in the corner. Nibbles having to go to the inside to defend the apex, and he gets through the corner sweet as a nut, and that's where the McLaren shines. But no, it's the Evil Dragon coming out the corner with a huff and a puff, and he wants to blow Nibbles' house right down. And in the meantime, the other Finnish driver now, Evil Dragon's found himself in a Finnish sarnie, a Finnish menage a trois, and most men would love that. But at the moment, Evil Dragon feeling very pressured by a lot of blue and white around him, and he's going for a move there. Nibbles trying to maintain, and Jay is up and in Evil Dragon's business. Evil Dragon's trying to fight. He's lost the position to Jay, and he's got to watch out for Irish Fox, who's there upon him now for Scuderia Chiara. So Evil Dragon, not even a bad lap. It's just happened to be everyone else has had an exceeding lap around him, and he's found himself in a bit of bother. Whilst this is the problem when you're all quite close unit and you want to attack the car ahead, which we saw Evil Dragon do. He came out the corner with such gusto, and he came across Nibbles like no other. And now it looks like Jay's having a go in his Corvette, and the McLaren just cannot do anything about it down the straights. But he's got to stay defensive, stay on the inside, and Jay's got no room, hardly. He gave him enough room, I don't mean that. And Evil Dragon again, coming out the corner, nearly making it 3 wide, down and into the final corner, first corner. Final corner, then first corner. It's very short start straight. And Nibbles is just driving off of the race line on every corner now, trying to protect his position. And all of this racing is great for Flores. Look at it, 4 seconds. He's on the medium tyres like these guys. He's on the same strategy like these guys. Jay now in 6th, Evil Dragon in 7th. Irish Fox right in the thick of the action. Let's have a look. Sat on board with Irish Fox as he chases down Evil Fox, Evil Dragon. God almighty, it's like a bloody zoo out there. Everyone wants to name their username after their spirit animal. So Irish Fox chasing down Evil Dragon, who's chasing down the J-Man, who's chasing down Nibbles, who has lost sight of Flores. Flores 4 seconds ahead of this little tussle at the moment. Fred Dude staying very close to GT Racer, who in turn is only a second behind Noir. The leaders on those soft tyres, maintaining each other's pace. That is a feat in itself. And we're lap 6 at the moment, nearly 7 minutes into a 90-minute race, and these three have gone short and hard. Flores then on the mediums. He's in a lovely little position there, because he's pulled out 4 seconds while Nibbles has had to defend like a lion, and now he's lost them. He's somehow lost them. He's dropped them. So maybe he's decided to burn a bit of that McLaren fuel and get away from the Corvette. I wanted to say a Dodge Viper though. I think it's a Corvette. Evil Dragon there in 7th, and look how tight it is down here. Nothing between the medium runners. And because Nibbles had to be a mobile wall for a bit, that's given Flores an opportunity to pull away from that pack, which makes his strategy to own. He isn't dictated by anyone around. Jay is in a Viper. There you go. Brave man. I think they swapped that car as well. Crazy fools. We're missing an Aston Martin, aren't we? Who had the Aston Martin? Wasn't that one of the AequepaX people? AequepaX haven't put an AequepaX car in. Groot? You're available? What's going on? You could have driven the Aston for an hour and a half. My word. Noir Antares then. 1.3 seconds. He's pulled away from GT Racer a little bit. And is this because GT Racer is, one, tearing up his tyres in a a rapid manner, and 2, keeping his eye out for that Gen X behind him. What a scary sight that must be. Get there. Does this work? No, that's just to change position. That's handy to know though. But I want to do the look back. There you go. So yeah, every time GT Racer has a look behind him, this is the sight he sees, and it's not going away anytime soon. Frequency in the chat saying hello everyone. Hi Frequency, you really missed me make a fool of myself at the beginning where I forgot to turn my mic on and spoke for about 7 minutes with just my cat listening. So GT Racer though, he's keeping Fred Dude where he needs to keep him, but it's just one small mistake can throw it all away. But at the moment, GT Racer pulling a little time out of his hands, but Noir has definitely turned on the special party button, because he's pulling away now like no one's business. He's on an absolute tear. So Noir opening up that gap to 1.6. It was not just over a second, not 1 or 2 laps ago. So Noir's then stretching his legs on the Corvette. Is it the straight? Because the Corvette does pull back a little bit more time coming down that straight. Fred Dude, he's lost a bit of time to GT Racer as well. That's the tyres. Look at his front left tyre. Only half a tank of fuel, and already that tyre, both on the Corvette and the Gen X, are looking angry. The Beamer wearing them nicely. They're wearing them evenly. Floris then barely touched his mediums, and look, he can just run what pace he wants. He's another second ahead of Nibbles, and that McLaren really isn't making any inroads, and it's not saving that much more fuel than the Audi either. We've got the Dodge Viper up behind him on racing mediums. I don't think the Dodge Viper has changed its livery now, come to think of it. I just don't think it's been here much. That, I think, may be the Humble Guys Racing Team Finland. Just, I haven't seen you much, guys, so it's hard to remember. Irish Fox is ahead of Evil Dragon. This is not what Evil Dragon needs or wants right now. He missed out race 1 last round because of lag, and now he's found himself slipping down in the race. But is he saving more fuel? Not so much, but his tyres are in a better state than Irish Fox. But Irish Fox in the Scuderia Chiara, and they're up there. They're at the sharp end of the championship table, and they can't afford to lose too many points. Being down in 7th isn't part of their manifesto right now. So they will want to be making great gains, and they've turned up with a special livery for us today to be a little wet about. It's lovely. I felt a nudge in my trousers. Noir and Terrace then leading the way, maintaining the lead, managing the race, doing all of these things all at once, and driving a BMW. They said it's a disability, driving a BMW. GT Racer, tyres gone. That's it now. We're going to see lap times drop off quite drastically, I think, from the Corvette driver. Fred Dude in the same boat, and they've got half a tank of fuel, so they can pit now and turn this into one hell of a long race for themselves. They could pit, not put any fuel on, put tyres in. That'll take them up to 30 minutes, and then they will have to put fuel in the next stop, which that's where the slow stuff happens. So big decisions for 2 and 3 going around. Noir not having to worry so much about that. He's still got a bit of fat on those wheels, and he's going to take it around a few more times yet before he starts thinking about a bit of a rubber change. But GT Racer and Fred Dude, I don't want to curse you, man, but I'm telling you, you probably should pit, because you're going to lose grip, you're going to spin off, and then you're going to say it's the bloody Genesis. But you have every opportunity to pit right now and play it safe, maybe lose a little bit more time overall on the race, but a pit stop is going to be a blindingly lot shorter than a spin, which your tyres are aiming you right for. So Fred Dude, please, for the love of all that is holy in racing, go into the pits and put some fresh rubber on those tyres. Although he is catching up with Noir. I mean, GT Racer's tyres are slipping and sliding all over the place. Look at the gap from 1.6 up to 4.2. This is how much those tyres are slowing them down. Get yourselves in the pits, boys. You'll have Floris coming upon you anytime soon, although Floris did a 22 last time around, nearly 4 seconds than their previous laps. And while Fred Dude and GT Racer are in the 18s, they're pretty safe if Floris is going to do 22s. Niblez, he's pulled back a little bit because it was 5 or so seconds. Jay has decided to sit back in Niblez's wake, and GT Racer's gone in, and Fred Dude, thank God for all that is great in the world that those two have gone in and put fresh rubber on, because it could have been a nightmare. Floris will easily pick up the position, and I can't see them fueling, but they may do, who knows. I never read it right. Oh, Evil Dragon's gone in with a medium set of tyres, so Evil Dragon's, he's not used those tyres up, but they're probably not feeling as great. Irish Fox then moves up into 5th place, but they are getting quite through a set of racing mediums there. GT Racer out of the pits in 6th spot, with Fred Dude there in 7th. A little bit of fuel, a little squirt of fuel there, just to be, I suppose, make sure, just in case the tyres last. They should last a bit better, as they haven't got the weight of the fuel carrying them around. And it's your move, Noir and Terrace, because those guys probably will be going faster than you now. They'll be getting the undercut, which means they're on fresher rubber earlier and managing to get out there and do faster lap times. So while Noir is popping around with 1:18.4s, we think that GT Racer and Fred Dude should have the ability to go into the 17s. But we will see. They've got to do an outlap first, which will be longer. And the longer you leave Noir out there, the more time he's going to lose. But he did gain a good 4 and a bit seconds before the pit stops. Ethan in the chat saying, there's nothing we can do about tyre wear. We just have to settle with what we have and hope, basically. So, yes. They've made every provision in the world for their strategy, but on the day, the tyre wear is what it is, and they just have to try and drive for the track conditions. Jay then up into 4th place, still chasing his fellow countryman down with a longer pit strategy, but even the Dodge is killing a set of mediums, and soon his times won't be eligible, will they? Look at the Nibblers looking after that fuel, looking after the tyres, doing a great job there. Floris as well, although that Audi has torn up that rear left wheel quite dramatically. Noir and Terrace then barely any tyres, and again he's doing mid-18s. GT Racer and Fred Dude should, once they've finished these laps, we'll see the difference of lap times between the two parties. And this is where Noir and Terrace is losing a lot of time on track to the guys behind him. Let's have a look. GT Racer then coming around 17.8. Fred Dude pulling a 17.7. That is nearly a second. So if you think that Noir was like 4 seconds ahead of GT Racer, he's now already lost a second of that, and he'll lose more as he stays out, but he's trying to go for a longer run. Ethan in the chat saying, fingers crossed if my pace translates from my practice session into the race lobby, it should be promising. Oh, Ethan's got big talks for race 2, I guess, I'm gathering. Can't be driving now and typing. And there goes Noir. He's gone in, but it's tricky. That wheel might have popped out. He's all over the grass because he's got no grip. But I don't know. A pit penalty is 3 seconds, and he cannot afford one of those. Let's hope his wheels stayed in those goddamn lines, unless the pit penalty thing's not on. But let's pretend it's on just for that extra drama. So the one stoppers, the long stoppers, the medium tyre runners are still going around. And that's Floris then for Garage 96, takes the lead in the Audi. And like I said, always great, strong starts to races we have with Garage 96, but it seems to drop away when the pit stops start happening. Niblez is up and into second. He's gained a lot of time back, but we are seeing that Audi rip its wheel to sunder. And Niblez looking after his tyres like a ballerina. He drives around on his toes. J-Man, he's destroying his front left tyre, but he's doing it in style, so we love him for it. Irish Fox under pressure from GT Racer, and this is not what GT Racer needs. Noir has made his pit stop, I apologise, come out, he did lose that lead, and he's right ahead of Fred Dude. Now he has a couple of laps newer tyres. I can't believe it took my eye off the ball. Thought he was going to be in the pits a bit longer. GT Racer then grabs that position away from Noir. Noir now under pressure from Fred Dude, whose tyres are up to racing temperature. Noir makes it difficult. He stays on the apex. Fred Dude has to give way. Or he'll get a bad accident. And that's Floris into the pits then. Not going quite as long as the fuel tank because the tyres did get torn up, and it's Niblez in the lead of this race. And this is where Niblez, the Finnish driver, he excels in himself. In that McLaren, I said race trim, he can take the tyres far and look after his fuel in an amazing manner. And that's where he gets his wins. That's where he makes his kills. Jay in the Viper, he's gonna have to pit. I think that front left tyre is looking way angry. He's doing 19.8s, and GT Racer now behind him. He's got past Irish Fox, and Noir and Terrace has put Fred Dude where he needs to be, and now he's got Irish Fox all up in his business. Irish Fox's tyres are totally shot and gone, and Noir and Terrace has to get past, or he will be passed. It's dog eat dog out there. And Fred Dude, he's had a taste of a win. He likes the champers and he wants another one. Noir and Terrace just staring at the back of a Corvette, wishing like he is now at the inside. Irish Fox's tyres, that is no surprise really. He never had the grip to stay with those boys through that segment of corners, but Noir and Terrace and Fred Dude giving us an absolute treat. Jay does go in with that Viper, and GT Racer solid as a rock, 3.2 seconds ahead of Noirs, and only 2.4 seconds behind Niblez, who's going longer in the race. Irish Fox then 5th place, but the tyres are shot. He's racing with Jay today. Floris has come out behind him, but I think Irish Fox will be behind them when they pit. Evil Dragon can't have pitted, did he? Evil Dragon has he pitted on lap 12 maybe, and put another set of mediums on, but he's got himself ahead of the Dodge and right behind Floris. Remember, Floris was 4th for a while, so that has put Evil Dragon right into the mix, hasn't it? Interesting. These the strategies all over the place. Well, not but a couple of laps out, but Niblez staying out there. I think it hurts you staying out longer. I think it is hurting these guys staying out for longer stints. Irish Fox is in then. Irish Fox is in. Where will they slot out? They'll be aiming for the Dodge or even Evil Dragon, but Evil Dragon was dead last at one point, wasn't he? And here we can see Niblez being caught by GT Racer with those soft tyres. And then Niblez, he doesn't want to lose time. There's no reason for him to race the Corvette. And it looks like he's decided not to. The fuel's starting to flash on the McLaren. 23.5 minutes into a 90-minute race. And I was thinking he was going to try and push that for the 30-minute mark, giving us just 3 pit stops in the McLaren. But no, looks like he's going to have to at least do 4 stops in this race, where GT Racer will be on for 6. Noirs and Fred Dude. It's a lot of stops, but it's not a long pit lane. So they've taken that into account, I am sure. So Evil Flores then, 5th, only just ahead of Evil Dragon. Evil Dragon, though, picking up a half a second penalty for exceeding track limits, I would assume. Jay is on the chase. That's not going to help Evil Dragon. It's going to close the gap between him and Jay. And Irish Fox, who's just pitted, must have crossed the penalty, the pit lane, and has lost 3 seconds. And that is a painful penalty to take. Look at that. It's like a century long, going slow down the straight for 3 seconds. GT Racer then. None of these can afford that mistake up the front. Nibles, he's going to be, his box are getting ready. His team's pit lane is getting prepared to receive the McLaren, because the fuel's getting low, and now he's being caught by a Noir and Terrace and Fred. But Fred right there in the action. Right there. It's going to be the first one to pit that's going to win this race. I don't know. It does seem like that early stop helps you a lot more than staying out. GT Racer then, off he goes in the lead. Nibles not wanting, I don't think he's trying to get in the way as such, but Noir's not making a meal of getting by the McLaren. I thought he just whooshed past him down the straight. Do you want a knife and fork with that, Noir? Hey? Fred Dude then, right there in his jacksie. Sorry, Noir, that was just joking. It's just jokes, just bants. Friendly bants. But then you did make a meal of it. GT Racer then leads this race with that early pit stop, helping him out no end. But the back end of that, the payoff, is that his tyres are starting to crumble, where Noir's are fresh. Fred Dude hunting for another win, and that Genesis is being relentless with those tyres. It is the tyre destroyer of cars. Flores in 4th, 25 seconds behind those leaders, but he's got fresh fuel, he's got fresh tyres. He's sitting in this for a little while now, and those guys ahead of him are going to need to pit in the next 10 minutes or so. Evil Dragon up into 5th. What a crack-a-lacka have we seen from him? How? Has he got a portal gun? Has he got some sort of special voodoo magic going on? He is Evil Dragon, by the way, so who knows? There's the black arts happening in that Audi. I think he pitted extremely early, and he's just banged in some cracking laps at the back, and everyone's pitted, and he's found himself 5th. Jay's behind him. Nibles behind Jay. This is adding to that longer pit stop, but remember, Jay's tyres quite fresh though, and he has jumped Nibles. Nibles has topped right up. I don't think anyone else has filled to the brim. And Irish Fox there with the medium tyres going, he seems a little slow. He has come out of a slow corner, so I'll give him the benefit of that doubt. GT Racer 3.5 second lead from Noir and Terrace, and Fred Dude trying to stay in the wake of the Corvette, trying to keep that tow going. Ethan in the chat saying, we are not in the same cycle of pit stops, we will fall back again when we pit. That is full throttle racing then, I believe, with Evil Dragon. Yeah, he's down to a quarter, but the guys ahead of you are going to pit. You're only 34 seconds off the lead, and they're going to pit as well. They've got less, well, I think they've got more fuel, but less fuel, tyres are shot. It's interesting. It's interesting what is the better strategy here. So I know these guys are leading on the soft tyres and doing shorter stints, but they're not leading by a whole lot, are they? To say they've got to do a lot more pit stopping before the end of this race. Flores then, half a tank of fuel. He's going to take the lead again after the guys ahead of him pit. Evil Dragon is not that far behind Flores. I think it's interesting. It's interesting indeed. Jay, the German, he's gone faster than he's gone previously in the race. He's 2.1 seconds behind the Audi, and he's 4.7 seconds ahead of Nibles, who has topped up, got a cup of tea, and he's in for the long haul now. And how far did he go? About 26 minutes or so. So we probably won't be seeing him pit again until we get to a minute 50 of this race. Irish Fox 11 seconds behind, but that pit stop penalty really hurt him. GT Racer 3.3 seconds, but those tyres are in pain now. He is feeling it. He's dropped out the, well, he's been late 17s, early 18s. He's still done an early 18s, so let's have a check out of this lap to see if he is really starting to be pained by that tyre. 18.1, it's not really hurting too badly, is it? It's not really hurting him that badly. Noir 3 seconds behind, but Noir's going a lot longer than GT Racer, and I'm saying that early pit stop is paying a big dividends, but really, Noir, where Fred Dude's in, he's used that fuel, he's burnt through it. Flores then, that's a position. He's back up to third for the Garage 96 Audi driver. As he overtakes the Belgian into the pits. Evil Dragon, he's going to be wanting a pit stop himself soon, and Jay will be wanting him to have a pit stop soon, although Jay's probably getting he's not quite getting a tow at that distance, but he probably would like him out of the way. So GT Racer, it's got to be this lap, hasn't it? It's got to be this lap. You probably could squeeze it out for another lap, but why would you? Why would you risk it just in case? Especially when you've got Noir and Terrace 2.7 seconds behind you. And the ebbs and the flows in this race, we are 30 minutes through. We are 1/3 into this race with only 60 minutes left. It's going to fly by, and the strategies are intense. Evil Dragon then is in fourth. Who's pitted? Fred Dude. Fred Dude pitted half a second behind Nibles. But he's on the racing softs. Nibles on the racing mediums. Nibles obviously not pushing the car to its maximum, trying to get the best of the fuel in the McLaren, and there you see the Gen X go by the 650S quite easily. Ooh, not quite easily. Just wanted to let Nibles know which way he was going, and Fred Dude up and into 6th after his pit stop. He's ahead of Nibles, who's playing the long game here. Jay then getting ever closer to Evil Dragon. Evil Dragon didn't pit that time around. He's pushing that fuel to the very edge. And it's Audi on Audi, isn't it? 3rd and 4th. Great stuff. Noir and Terrace then waiting for GT Racer, who did push it that extra lap. And I said, why would you? And he said, this is why. I'm going to lose another second to me teammate on track. But it means he can go deeper and later into the race. We're at 32 minutes virtually as he hits the pit lane, and he had enough fuel. Look, ooh, did he cross the line? Did he cross the line? I think where it's dotted, it's all right, and it's when it goes solid. So Noir and Terrace in the BMW regains the lead of this race. And who will win? Who will win indeed? So GT Racer wants to definitely be out ahead of Fred. And the Evil Dragon getting ready for a pit stop and being caught very rapidly by the Dodge Viper, as Evil Dragon had to lift off a bit because he's going quite long. And J Man having a look up the inside of Evil Dragon. Evil Dragon swings it across for the pit lane, and yes, I think everything's tiggity-boo there as he enters in to make his pit stop. And as Ethan says, they're on a different strategy to those around them. It's going to be hard to judge where they are in the race at any given time. Noir and Terrace, I'll tell you where he is. He's leading. He's got a quarter of a tank of fuel just under, and his tyres are pretty good. GT Racer's just pitted. He's come out in 2nd spot. That's not bad, is it? That's not bad. I thought Flores was going to get that. So well done. GT Racer into the pits. New set of softs on. Just add a little tipple of fuel. Put it up to between 1/2 and 3/4. And he's on his way. His race is with Clockwork Orange Apex today. No, not Clockwork Orange. It's the orange bit I've got to leave out. Clockwork Racing Apex Racing. Clockwork Motorsport. I'm going to drink my coffee and calm down. Flores in 3rd place. this might be the strategy that's working. I'm saying it quietly because I'm probably wrong, but I have a gut feeling that Flores is onto something here with the medium tyres, the long runs. It's not working for Nibbles though, although Nibbles now is up into 6th. But again, he's behind Fred Dude. Well, Fred Dude got past him. Where did Evil Dragon made his pit stop? Didn't he? He's come out behind Irish Fox, which I thought, with Irish Fox having that quite a big gap to Evil Dragon and to Nibbles behind him, 13 seconds. I thought Evil Dragon would be somewhat closer than that, but he has put a lot of fuel in. So, could be going all the way. Motion detected at the front door. So I'm just going to be... what do? They send the SWAT team round. Isn't that what happens to famous YouTubers? Have I finally made it? Have I been swatted? Or whatever they call it. That phenomenon where people send people round during a live stream and get them arrested or something. Noir and Terrace. It's always shady as well, isn't it? It's not like, oh, there's someone at the door. It's like there's been motion detected at your front door. Motion detected. Gets you on edge straight away, doesn't it? You're thinking, should I grab a knife? Should I grab me old glow sticks? So Noir and Terrace then leads this race by 30 seconds. GT Racer has recently pitted, put on fresh rubber, and is on the hunt. And Flores there is third, playing the longer game and going deep into the races and trying to make as little pit stop as possible. Fred Dude back up and into 4th. He's got the fastest lap of the race. Winner last time out was the Dude of Fred. And this time it might be a little too hard to beat the Clockwork guys. We'll see. The J-Man, JJ, Jay the Destroyer in the Viper, destroyer of tyres, is what he is. No, that Viper is anyway. Jay sticking in there. He's had to go with the medium tyres, but he's on a shorter stint strategy because the tyres will not obey the rules of physics on that Dodge Viper. The Dodge Viper just wants to spin the wheels up in every corner and just rip the rubber away from the tyre. Nibbles is a tough one to judge, innit? Hasn't seemed to have made much impact in this race, but he is going long. We did say he probably won't pit until like the 50th week. Like there's 2 of me. I said it probably won't stop until about the 50th minute. It's because I include you lot who are watching, all 6 of you, and I'm one of them, so 5 of you watching. I include you in that decision as well, because no one said in the chat, you fool. I love you. You want to join the joyride? I said, you fool. What is it? It's not that. I'm getting it wrong. My wife's not here to correct me. I said, stop, you fool. I love you. Come join the joyride. I can't remember. I'll stick with Sade. Irish Fox then in 7th place, 14 seconds ahead of Evil Dragon. But we've seen Evil Dragon on the ropes before and come back hard. So he was getting the blue flags. Is that Noir? Is that a Beamer in me rear mirror? But he's got to come into the pits pretty soon because his fuels are flashing and his tyres are dead. And GT Racer, 28 seconds behind, will take that lead again, I imagine. And Noir might come out ahead of Flores, which then means that Noir and GT Racer may be onto a good thing. Fred Dude also. And a quick stint strategy may be the way to go, because at the moment Noir and GT Racer especially, making a pit stop and coming back out ahead of the medium-clad cars. It makes me feel that they're onto something here. And Flores, we'll see. We'll see if the medium guys decide to drop at it and start doing the sprints. They've got a flexible strategy, really. But at the moment, they're all sticking with those medium tyres and longer runs, hoping that it'll pay dividends pretty soon. Noir hitting the pit lane with 0% fuel. And now it's down to GT Racer to try and retake the lead of this race. Whilst Noir and Terrace is stationary, Flores as well wouldn't mind getting in on that action, but they've only got a lap or two before their pit stop. Fred Dude going a little longer, but his tyres may not want to. He's got the fastest lap of the race. GT Racer takes the lead, goes through the first corner. Oh no, did Noir? No, for a minute then I thought Noir had run out of fuel. He was still trying to get to his box. No, so Noir does come out ahead, healthily ahead of Flores, only 6 seconds behind his teammate, who is already chewing into a set of soft tyres, and it's a tight battle between the Clockwork guys. Fred Dude should be up there. He's lost time to him somewhere along the way, and yeah, Flores will be pitting pretty soon. The J-Man solid at the moment, but his tyres are starting to hurt. The crumbling. And this is where Nibbles' tyres just coming into their own. Irish Fox in 7th for Scuderia Chiara, and they need more points than 7th. That's not good enough for those guys. They've stepped it up this season. They've been there in the fight for wins. So, no pressure, Irish Fox. And Evil Dragon on the mediums. Holy schmoly, my phone rang and it scared the living daylights out of me. Oh, what does he want? I'm racing, bruv. I'm doing a stream. What do you want? No. Tell. What? He's hung up. He won't talk on the stream. So he's ringing me to say, "Oh, do you want to go and do a heist on GTA?" So he's addicted. It's like the cocaine we were selling of his today in GTA. So GT Racer, I just want to drive around and look at all the fancy sights. I'm like, oh look, let's go to the fairground. Let's go and play on the big wheel. And he's like, no, let's go and attack these meth labs. So, it was his decision. GT Racer leads 7.3 seconds. Noir and Terrace, who's just made a pit stop, is bedding in those tyres. Flores is into the pits. The Audi, the top Audi driver, into the pits now behind Irish Fox. He exits. Irish Fox then close to a pit stop himself in the Corvette. Nibbles right there nibbling at his fellow countryman's heels, and the Viper is starting to lose some of those tyres to the track, and Nibbles will be moving up another position, but I don't think Nibbles is going to be in a position for a win today. I think the BMW and the Corvette, and maybe even the Gen X, has got the McLaren beat. We will see though. Still plenty of time. We're not even halfway in the race yet. So who can say? Who can say indeed? Hello, my sweetness. Noir and Terrace in second. Fred Dude in the Gen X in fifth. But Fred's up for another pit stop already. Jay and Nibbles are having a Duke of Dukes. They're duking it out here. The Viper versus the McLaren. I know which one I'd want to walk away with. Viper any day, hands down. It's probably not the better car, but it looks hot. It'd be a great extension for my penis. So the Dodge Viper gets half a second penalty. You're not doing much in that car, are you? In the McLaren, let's face it. You might pick a chick up in it, but you ain't doing nothing in it. You've got to have an apartment to take them to. That Dodge, you're doing it in transport. Fred Dude, so did they both pick up a penalty? No, Nibbles seems okay. Jay had to... Oh, he wanted to. A little jink there from the Finnish driver. I thought they were clean as whistles. I thought, you know, you couldn't... There was no wrongdoing from the Finns. They drive perfectly, but that was a little... That jink was a little naughty. So Jay going into the pits after that small penalty, costing the position to Nibbles. And GT Racer. I'm sure it wasn't a jink. I'm sure it was probably just lag or something, just weird lag that happened. Speedy Man Giles saying ghosted. He wanted the slipstream. There you go. That's it. What? Yeah. That's perfectly reasonable. I don't know why I didn't jump to that conclusion. So GT Racer, I just like throwing a bit of shade around Speedy Man Charles. Noir and Terrace, I want to create a bit of drama where there is no drama. I'm painting a soap opera out here over the next hour and a half. None of it's real. It's just a bunch of guys sat in a very warm room playing on a plastic wheel.
Like DTs.
And Speedy Man Charles saying cheeky. And like DTS. What's DTS? I don't know what DTS is. I was thinking wrestling. Or WWF or whatever it's called. GT Racer then. He's getting his tyres nicely bedded in. Coming across a back marker. Noir and Terrace. I can't tell who's doing better out of there. GT Racer's got track position, but Noir just seems to be comfortable on his tyres. Doesn't seem to have the tyre issue that GT Racer is having. GT Racer is not affecting his speed so much. I mean, he has dropped into the 18s now as the Corvette moves over out of the way of the fellow Corvette. Great from Irish Fox there, very polite. He probably wanted a tow off the Irish, to tell you the truth, down the straight. But still, very nice indeed. So, a GT Racer. Smashing it in the Corvette, taking points away from the team he should not be taking points away from. Again, I wonder if we'll see an orchestrated manoeuvre. I don't think we've seen one yet. It seems like they are free to finish where they wish to finish, if it hurts them in the championship or not. Oh, right, Speedy Man Charles says Irish had a penalty, it looked like. Oh, no, I didn't look at the numbers. I didn't see any numbers above his head. So, GT Racer, Noir and Terrace blipping up the purples as he tries to close the gap. It's down to 6.5 seconds. Was 7 seconds. Very tight. Nibles going deep into the race. I said 50 minutes. And we're at 46 minutes now. Nibles might be able to push this deeper into the 50-minute mark. Who knows? Fred Dude. It's that Gen X and its hatred of tyres has played away from Fred. I'm guessing there was rain when Fred won. And the Gen X probably didn't destroy its tyres as much. And then there's Speedy Man Charles in the chat saying it only comes up if you are actually watching the drive. Oh yeah, and I was watching the... Yeah, did not know that, Speedy Man. See, every day is a school day. And school's in... What do they call it? And classes in progress or something. Class is on. So there you go. That's something new. I never knew that. That's amazing. That's blown my mind, Speedy Man Charles. I need a break. I need to take a moment just to let that sink in. So a GT Racer, it's like finding out that you can eat snacks in Grand Theft Auto and it helps your health bar. So you don't have to die in every mission. You just have to hide behind something and have a drink of common guzzler or something, whatever it's called. Because I think that's what it's called in Grand Theft Auto, is something like that. The drinks. Piss Water and common guzzler, I think it's called. Your kids play it. GT Racers 5.6 seconds in the lead there from Noir and Terrace, who's 24.5 seconds ahead of Nibles. And Speedy Man Charles says, I have way too many hours in GTA. Yeah, but well, I used to have, but I didn't know that about the snacks. And GT Racer is into the pits to get a splash of fuel. And where is he standing? He's going to get out ahead of Nibles again, isn't he? He's going to get ahead of Nibles again. Is he moving already? He can't have put much fuel. He's only just come in. My mind is blown. He's coming out. I believe he's coming out. I wish it would change it when they make the stop. It's ridiculous they wait until the line. He's put plenty of fuel in there, so Noir Anteras leads this race, and he's got a load of fuel and plenty of tyre left there. He can actually go for quite a while. Nibbles does get ahead of GT Racer, and now it's a little tight out there. The Corvette looking at the back of the McLaren, and my word, hasn't this just livened up slightly? And GT Racer, though, easily getting by because of the soft tyres. No, Nibbles making it hard work for him, staying on the apex, and he's like, you got to get by me, you got to go round me. And GT Racer accepts the challenge with those fresh softs and says, okay, around you, which side? Nibbles then grabbing a bit of a toe to try and save a little more fuel before making the pit stop. Fred Dude, 12 seconds adrift of that battle now, Fred Dude. Half a tank of fuel. GT Racer's got just over half a tank of fuel, fresh tyres. Noir and Terrace, just over a quarter of a tank, well, somewhere between a quarter and a half a tank of fuel. 27 seconds in his pocket. It's looking good for the BMW driver. Who do we want to look at? Flores, he was having an interesting race, going long and deep and hard. Garage 96, I said the Audi drops away as soon as the pit stops start happening, but it's been doing okay. Stayed ahead of Nibbles for a long time there, and when Nibbles makes his pit stop pretty soon, which he is going to be doing because he's getting down there on the fuel. 50 minutes. I'm like a foreseer of everything. I'm going to break out the philosophy in a minute. Really blow your minds. Because I called in around 50th minute. It's because I did math, and I did math really well that I got it right. This is coming from the person who, even though he had YouTube turned up and could hear the cars driving around, talked for 7 minutes without noticing it wasn't coming through YouTube. Explain that one. It took Speedy Man Charles to say, where's the commentator? And I read that and thought, I'm bloody here. What's the matter with you? Clean your ears out. And then realised the little orange button on my handset was pressed. Not embarrassed about it at all. Couldn't give two hoots. I didn't say anything that interesting anyway. So Noir and Terrace leads from GT Racer. Fred Dude moves up to third as Nibbles makes his pit stop, and Flores will easily get by. And that's the battle, I think. Off of the podium, I think, I don't know if either of these have got a chance of a podium. I might be eating those words come the end of this race. But we've got just under 40 minutes left of racing, and Flores and Nibbles seem to be battling it out for that mid-pack. And don't forget about Jay as well, because he's in there. Don't forget about Dr. J. And the Evil Dragon as well, getting into those same pit stop strategy, the same pit stop window. As the guys around him, Irish Fox comes across the line. Do they get by? Evil Dragon, they do. Evil Dragon trying to force that poor Audi around, but it's not getting what he wants out of it. He's getting 18s, but it's mainly 19s, and I think they need to be into the 18s. Look at Noir, 17s all the way. GT Racer may have lost this one. This one may have slipped away from his fingertips, because Noir is absolutely destroying it at the moment, and he's killing the lap times. He's getting every apex. He is having himself an absolute crack-a-lacquer. Right, well, the first is a Socrates philosophy, and it's like, the unexamined life is not worth living. Well, I hate exams, and I imagine anyone who takes exams doesn't want to be examined or have exams. So that's a load of BS straight away. The unexamined life is not worth living. Hey, I'm quite happy living with that without being unexamined. Thank you very much, Socrates. Shove that one up your colon. GT Racer then, 27 seconds behind Noir and Terrace, and Fred Dude, 13 seconds behind GT Racer. It's a spread, but it's a spread I think we can pull together come the end. Flores is 4th place, 9.8 seconds behind Fred Dude, and he's 14 seconds ahead of Dr. J. Nibbles is on the move. He's made a pit stop. He's filled back up again. He's put medium tyres on. He's 8 seconds behind Dr. J. And he's, 20 odd seconds behind Flores. That's the race today of these medium tyre runners, I think. Irish Fox, can he stay ahead of Evil Dragon? Evil Dragon is racing with great gusto. Mucho gusto. I am gonna be off pretty quickly after they cross the line because I've got to do a second stream, and boy oh boy, I'm gonna try and get a fag in between, so I don't want to miss the start, but boy's got to smoke, you know. William of Ockham, his philosophy is entities should not be multiplied unnecessarily. And I would agree with that. Well, that would put math out of the equation, wouldn't it? Totally. We wouldn't need to do math because entities should not be multiplied unnecessarily. I'm on board with that philosophy. Well done, Bill of Ockham. I don't exactly know what you're talking about, but I'm on board with it. Noir Anteris leads 26. Look at this. We're getting a highbrow philosophy and racing. They should just rename the channel Racing and Philosophy. The life of a man in a state of nature is solitary, poor, nasty, brutish, and short. That one was from Thomas Hobbes. True. If I was put out in nature, my life would be very solitary, poor, nasty. It'd be brutish and short, especially if I was somewhere with tigers and lions. GT Racer is in 2nd place, 26 seconds behind Noir Anteris. He's dreaming of Noir's pit stop, but Noir has taken a huge chunk of time there to make that pit stop happen. And has he built up enough time? Because GT Racer, he's way over into the between a quarter and a half of a tank of fuel. His tyres are starting to feel it. They're not lost by any means, but they're feeling the track now. They're feeling the track. They're on their way. Fred Dude, oof, look at that front left, man. You gotta feel for anyone who drives a Gen X, because the Gen X don't like tyres. Although he could have gone for that medium run, couldn't he? He could have opted, like your Audi driver, your Viper driver, who know they're not friendly to tyres. They opted for medium tyres. That was available for the Fredster, but Dude's gonna go fast. So he's gone soft tyres, but he's paying the price. Paying the price. Noir's into the pits then. GT Racer's gonna shine. Shine on, you crazy diamond. Let's have ya. Noir Anteris toppling up in the Beamer. He's been released. GT Racer's just coming around the final corner. Noir Anteris slowly plodding down the pit lane. GT Racer tearing down the straight. And he's through the first corner as Noir Anteris just about gets to the first corner, and it's GT Racer that leads this race. And it's all about Clockwork Motorsport. Noir Anteris. Oh, he cut the pit lane. Noir Anteris. Fred Dude will be well happy about that. Pleased as punch. But he's got a big deficit to make up from Noir, and his tyres are not up for the challenge. GT Racer then, he's just got to get his pedal to the metal, his nose to the grind, stone, and he's got to get some elbow grease in there, and I can't think of any other kind of metaphor about working hard. He's got to grind. Wind your body, gal. Noir with his penalty. Noir picked up a penalty. Noir got a penalty. Noir, it's hurt so bad. Noir is getting closed down by Fred. Didn't get a penalty like Noir, who got a penalty in the pit lane. GT Racer then chugging on. He got a 3-second bonus there. And my oh my, I imagine he is enjoying that one. Fred Dude, ooh, from 8 seconds down to 3 seconds. I'm not trying to rub salt into a wound that's just been opened up, but Noir, that hurt. And Floris then, he's going to be into the pits pretty soon. Jay can carry on going. Dr. J with Nibles hunting down some positions. Who will finish off the podium? I mean, I think I know the podium. I'm pretty sure I know what the podium's going to be come the end of this race. But it's who's going to get that magic 4th spot from the Dutch to the finish. It could be anyone's. Evil Dragon then ahead of Irish Fox, but they're having a ding-dang-a-lang. Irish Fox has picked up a bit of damage, so I reckon Evil Dragon has just about gone by, and this race near the tail is all about the dragon and the fox. They'll be telling the tale for years to come about the fox and the dragon that went to battle. Singing songs. Oh, big tank slide from the fox there, and that'll be that little suspension damage they're carrying. Remember, this series, damage does not go away. If you don't fix it, you got to drive with it. And at the moment, Irish Fox finding a Corvette that does just not want to turn in to the corners because his suspension's mangled in it. Like, it's like having a dead bird in your brake duct, I imagine. Fred Dude into the pits. That tyre will take no more, and his tank is struggling. So is Floris. That's nice for Fred. And it's all about Jay, and it's all about the fins. Oh, really? A couple of fins on the go, on the pop. And Jay is hunting. He comes on to the start straight. The other two still pitted at the moment. And it's Jay in the Dodge up and into 3rd place. Who would have ever thunk it? Dr. J giving us those beats. Proper old school. Fred Dude out of the pits then, chasing him down. It's a battle to be battled, and it's going to be battled pretty soon between these gunsters, sons of guns. Nibles then, doing as he does, head down, cracking on, just carrying that car as late into the race as he possibly can. We're over an hour mark now. We've got 30 minutes left. It's virtually a sprint to the line, with Floris coming out of the pits in 6th, 10 seconds behind Nibles, and the Evil Dragon still battling it out with the wounded Fox. What does the Fox do? Oh no, what does the sound the Fox make? Something like that one. Well, it was a song years ago about what does the fox sound or something like that. It's almost as bad as the Barbara Streisand song. Streisand. GT Racer leads this race 14.7 seconds. Noir and Terrace after picking up a penalty. Fred Dude pitted, so he didn't feel that pain in the end, and he's got 35 seconds on Jay, and Jay has got Fred Dude. We saw him coming out the pits behind the Viper, and he is hungry like the wolf. Let's get on board, shall we, and see Fred in action, hunting himself down a piece of Dr. J in the Viper. Cha. Cha, cha, cha. Fred Dude then just lining him up. He knows the Dodge Viper is wounded at the moment. Tyres hurting. The Finnish driver just trying to cling on to those Apexes, trying to get that Viper into the corners, and there you see the grip level difference for Fred Dude, who just piles it on, comes up, and no, he's backed out of it, didn't fancy that one against Dr. J, and Dr. J comes out on top. But Fred Dude's so much faster than the Finnish driver. Fred Dude then but Jay's got the inside. And no, Fred Dude gets it through. Beautiful driving from the pair of them. And Fred Dude back up and into third. GT Racer, meanwhile, he's making a pit stop. Noir Anteris retakes the lead. And it really is all about the clockwork here. And how the clocks work at Road Atlanta. Cracking stuff here. Fred Dude, he was close, wasn't he, when he pitted to Noir, because Noir picked up that penalty. But now 52 seconds behind GT Racer, and it's looking like Fred Dude's going to be looking over his shoulder more than what's in front of him from the one-stoppers, but one-stoppers from the long-stoppers. Dr. J goes in, and Niblez takes over. From one fin to another, we've got fourth covered. Floris could be the fly in that ointment. He could be the Dutchman that ruins the Finns' days. But we will have to wait and see. He's ahead of the Dodge as the Dodge leaves the pit lane. And we've got just under 25 minutes to go left in this race. And Floris absolutely sending it. Evil Dragon then still cannot drop the Fox. And the Fox carrying that damage, but he's going to have to go in the pits if he can try and... Oh, he's not gone in the pits this time around. That's going to be a bit problematic. That could be an issue if he doesn't get around. Because that fuel doesn't, to me, look like it can make a whole lap. He's going to have to coast. Lift and coast, dear boy. Lift and coast. Noir and Terrace, 17-second lead at the moment. Just under half a tank of fuel. He's flipping the sectors up in purples. And the man is lighting up the track. GT Racer, we don't know. We can't tell who's going to be on top at the end. Well, you probably could if you sat there with a bit of paper and a pen. But entities shouldn't be multiplied if you can help it. So GT Racer and Noir and Terrace, slightly different strategies. Noir, they were similar at the beginning. Noir's always gone a bit longer than the Corvette, but I think it's because the Beamer is tidier on its tyres. But there's been barely anything in it between the two of them. They've shared the lead of this race equally. Fred Dude there in third. It looks like a podium is on, but there's a little battle here just behind for 4th, 5th and 6th, maybe even 7th. Is Evil Dragon in that one? He's 14 seconds behind the J-Man. J-Man's recently pitted, so has Floris. And Niblez pitted a while ago, but he just likes to keep on driving. Irish Fox coming in, no fuel, but he made it. I said it was going to be a struggle. He's getting it fixed. Well, he's had the suspension fixed. Is he fixing the front as well? Possibly. We'll have to wait and see. Frequency in the chat saying sound is completely gone. My good golly gosh. I don't know what I could do about that. It is sounding very odd, isn't it? Testing 1 2 3. Testing. I think that's an internet thing.
Refresh the stream frequency.
Oh, like I meant to know how to do that. Refresh the stream frequency. I wouldn't know how to do that. I'm broadcasting. I wonder if I can pause it and then start again. Resume. Does that help anything? Hello? No. I don't know. We're buggered. We are buggered.
Stream is fine on my end.
Stream is fine on your end. You're not getting it going, because on my YouTube it's going. Let me close my YouTube and start again. Oh, dearie me. Someone might be really far behind though. Before I close everything, shut it down. Oh no, there you go. Oh, Speedy Man Charles. I'm there. Look, someone's having their own little bit of... Refresh the stream frequency. Ah, frequency sound has completely gone. Frequency throwing in a bit of drama himself. There we go. It's all good, man. You're freaking me out. Mine was doing it though, frequency. In all fairness, mine was giving it a bit of a... It was a terrible sound. It's Dr. J's new beat. Noir and Terrace then. Let's have a catch up after that little drama in the comms box, eh? Noir and Terrace is leading by 17.3 seconds ahead of his teammate GT Racer. They've both shared the lead equally throughout the race. Every time one stops, one stays out. And now it's about even. No, Noir will be pitting a lot sooner than GT, as GT's banging in his fastest laps of the race. Still 3/10 off of Noir and Terrace's fastest. Fred Dude clinging onto that podium with a soft, short strategy, and it's been working out for him, but his tyres are hurting. It seems to be the longer the race goes on, the more his tyres hurt. Nibbles, he's been doing very long stints, seems to not look good at one point, and then everyone pits and he's back there again. He's racing with Floris, who's also on a similar strategy, and Dr. J as well is banging those long stints in. Evil Dragon and Irish Fox have been caught in an absolute tangle battlement all the way through this. Irish Fox had to go in and make a pit stop and make some repairs to the Corvette, and that's given Evil Dragon a bit of a gap. Thank heavens that the stream's okay. That really started freaking me out. So you're all caught up. We're having a wonderful time here, and we've got 19 minutes of racing left for the first race before we move on to the second one. And Noir and Terrace is leading, but there is going to be another pit stop in his future. I believe GT Racer may have to make another pit stop. I'm going to put my neck out and say he is going to have to make another pit stop before the end of this race. Fred Dude definitely will have to make another pit stop before the end of this race. Nibbles, sorry. Is he going all the way? No, I don't think that. No, I don't. No. No, he's going to have to make a splash-o dash before the end of this race, I believe. That's not going to be enough to get him there. Floris also, it's tight. I need someone who's just recently pissed. I reckon Jay might be trying to get that to go all the way, but it's a struggle. I mean, they were at best, what did we have, about 28 minutes from Nibbles in the first stint on a full tank of fuel. So yeah, with 18 minutes to go, even half a tank of fuel might be a struggle. But Irish Fox has been the most recent pit stopper, and he's got half a tank, so you would think that Dr. J and Irish Fox are fueled up to go all the way. Here comes Evil Dragon. This is where Irish Fox makes an impact, as Evil Dragon comes in for probably the last time, most likely the last time this evening, as Irish Fox tries and tries to make ground. He's getting a great toe off of Nibbles in front. Is it Nibbles? No. Yeah, it is Nibbles. Fred Dude, meanwhile, his tyres are hurting, and he's going to want to come in pretty soon. GT Racer 16.2 seconds behind Noir. Noir getting closer and closer to a pit stop. GT Racer, I'm not sure that's going to be enough for him to get to the end. I think there's another pit stop in GT Racer's future. And there you go. Wow, Evil Dragon's put virtually a whole tank in. That's got to be overkill. He's definitely making sure he's going to pass the weight test at the end of this race, surely. He's 1.2 seconds behind Irish Fox. What a ding-dang doodly we're going to have come the end of the race between the Dragon and the Fox. I tell you, they'll be singing tales to their children, telling scary stories at night time about the Fox and the Dragon and when they battled. And we don't know who comes out on top. That friggin' hell's crawling on our bloody curtain. Is that a bumblebee? It's huge. Stay away from me, bumblebee. I'll have to get my bat. Oh, you're not going to zap that. It's huge. No. I think it's a bug, though. Have you seen it? Yeah, see? Now, it's like my reaction wasn't ridiculous, was it? It looks mutated. It looks like something out of Fallout. Oh, it's a bee. Okay, it's not out of Fallout. Frequency says, yes, that fixed it. Thanks, Frequency, you star. Noir and Terrace leads this race. His fuel is a-flashing. Floris is in. Floris is in. Nibbles. Mine was doing it as well, Frequency. It must have just been a blip. The helpful people of Ethan and Speedy Man Charles fixed. They are the IT crew out there. So Floris is in. Nibbles is going to have to come in. Jay, we think, may have fueled up to go to the end here. We're not sure. 15 minutes, yeah. It's got to be. Half a tank of fuel has got to carry him 15 minutes, surely. And Nibbles is going to pit in front of him. Jay might come out of this like a boss and grab that 4th spot. Noir and Terrace going to pit. He's 15 seconds ahead of GT Racer, but GT Racer's going to have to pit as well, I believe, before the end of this race. It's still a huge duke-out battle between the two. And if I was GT Racer, I would pit the same time as Noir, because he's carrying more fuel. He'll be in the pits less time, and I think that's his best route to try and gain a big time. He wants Noir to pick up another 3-second penalty going into the pits. That would help him. Fred Dude's in. Nibbles is in. This is where Dr. J becomes a legend. Coming down the straight, Nibbles into the pits. Floris has already pitted. He's behind Dr. J. Nibbles then, is he getting ready to come out? Fred Dude's on the move. Fred Dude's out of the pits. That top 3 looks like it is cemented in stone. Write that one down, Gru, on the score sheet. They are done. Noirs comes in. Now Will, GT Racer. He's coming in. Oh, I thought he was coming in. I thought I called it right there. I think I called it right. I honestly think that was GT Racer. If he has to pit again in this race, that should have been the moment. He could have caught up sometime on Noir, just having to put in less fuel. So we'll see, but he's got meat on his tyres. Why would he want to waste that? Noir and Terrace is out there. He's got to get those tyres up to temperature. Fred Dude's out of the battle of first and second in this race. It's all about the Noir and the GT Racer. Hot dog. Now GT Racer is 18 seconds ahead of Noir and Terrace. He's gone to 3/4 of a tank. Fred Dude's on just under 3/4 of a tank. Jay, I said he may have fueled up to the end. It looks like he's going to have to slow down to get there, though. Nibbles over the halfway mark. And yet, if Dr. J wants to get there, he's going to have to squeeze that tank as hard as he can. And our man there, Nibbles, could get that 4th, and Floris is still in the action, don't forget. Floris has gone for a set of softs at the end there. So has Nibbles. And poor old Dr. J, where it was looking all good for him, on 4th place. It might be now just a pipe dream, as the 2 behind him are on soft compound tyres, and they are gonna gobble him up. GT Racer then, still making no pit stop as of yet. And there is less than 13 minutes left of this race. It is getting high octane action here. Let's all take a deep breath, because it's getting hot in here. It's getting hot in here. So let us take off our garments. Fred Dude in 3rd spot. No one's going to break that, boys, Will. No how, no way. And he has got that podium wrapped up. Jay still defending like a lion, like a viper, against the McLaren. Oh, the McLaren picking up a ½ second penalty, and that is a little bit of relief for Dr. J in this race. Floris is getting ever closer. It was 3.2 seconds, now it's 2.6 seconds, and it is dropping every single corner. Evil Dragon, he has slain the fox. It's the dragon that comes out on top, and the fox might have to make another pit stop. GT Racer then, when will he come in? And will that be it? Will Noir take over the lead? It is an advantage to Clockwork if Noir Antares finishes on top, but there is only a point between the two of these racers, team marquees, in the table. So why would GT Racer wish to finish behind the BMW when if he finishes ahead of him, he'll probably be ahead of him in the table? Let's ponder that for a moment. Shall we have another philosophical He who thinks great thoughts often makes great errors. Which, I mean, was great. It depends on what you're thinking great. What context you're taking great in there, Martin Heidegger. I mean, you mean great errors like it was an error, but it was a great one. I mean, it was perfect. So it wasn't an error. We're going to move on past that one. That was a crap. What is rational is actual, and what is actual is rational. We'll pick that one apart. We'll have a quick run through. So GT Racer's fuel now flashing. Noir Antares is poised. I don't know how many wins he's had this season. You'll have to see our stat, man. Which, I don't know. He might be off sick again. So GT Racers come into the pits. I think you should have pitted when Noir pitted, but who knows? Noir now has to push like Billy O to get to that flag, to get to that line before GT Racers box. They've released him. It's just a splash. Oh, dash. But Noir already tearing past him along the straight, and it's a Noir Antares that leads the race with 10 minutes to go. Less than 10 minutes. GT Racer humbling out of the pit lane, and Fred Dude too far back, and that Genesis too aggressive with its tyres for him to put up a battle with the Clockwork Motorsports guys today. And my oh my, what an absolute cracker-lacker they've put on for us. Fred Dude rounding out the top three. Then Dr. J is still there, and the Nibbles only just gets the move done, but Dr. J hanging it down the inside. Nibbles having to battle tooth and nail for that position, and guess what? Flores is on the scene. Garage 96 looks to be wanting to pick up some nice points here. I said fourth place was going to be a battle between the two Finns and the Dutchman, and they have not disappointed. Look at this. 9 minutes of racing, and really Dr. J is he's buggered, isn't he? Because he's on the medium tyres, and Nibbles and Flores are on the soft tyres, so they are in strong positions. It's taken
More than welcome to stay on for S. To lion face in clouds, grinning face with sweat.
You're more than welcome to stay on for S2 season 2, right? This is season 2. What, the second race? No, I know. So a Noir, but I'm going for a Siggy. So if you start the race without me, then that's cooked it. So Noir Antares leads this race. GT Racer is in second. There's 11 seconds separating them, and I don't know. GT Racer pitted at the same time as Noir and having to put in less fuel, what the turnout would have been. Noir had to put in virtually half a tank of fuel. If GT Racer pitted at the same time, he would have only had to put in quarter of a tank, and they both would have. He would have lost less time being stationary. I still think he should have pitted when Noir did, but what do I know? I'm sat here talking about it. I'm not on the track. I'm playing with a plastic wheel. Fred Dude then in third, and Nibbles fourth, and he's leaving them behind. Flores can't stay with the pace of the McLaren. And we've seen that Audi is an absolute powerhouse coming out of the corners. In Evil Dragon's hands, he was absolutely chugging it earlier in the race. And Dr. J with those medium tyres, they've let him down. And Nibbles, the McLaren, and the Audi putting on the soft tyre for the final stint. and it made them just that slightly bit more racier, and it just doesn't look like the Audi can live with that McLaren. Noir Anteris then 10 seconds lead from his teammates with only 6.5 minutes to go. The Fox into the pits. We did say the Fox probably didn't have enough to get to the end. His tyres absolute shot. And it's the Fox then in for the final pit stop of the race. Evil Dragon finishing away ahead of the Corvette, but just shy of the Dodge Viper, whose tyres are absolutely starting to go the wrong way. Floris trying to live with the McLaren, but the McLaren on soft tyres is suddenly finding a little bit of pace. Fred Dude, nothing to fear with that third spot unless he slings it out the scenery, which there's no chance of that. I don't think he can afford the rubber on his tyres. Noir Anteris holding that 10-second lead, and all through it we were wondering, well, I was wondering if who was going to come out on top, Noir or GT Racer. And I imagine Noir all the way. But Noir, with that longer stint, it looked like GT Racer was getting an upper hand with the shorter stints earlier in the race. But somewhere GT Racer lost some ground to Noir, and maybe he did stop less. But Noir grinding out a great result here at Road Atlanta for the first race. And like I said, because Stigma, the sick note, I think he's still got the Le Mans flu. That's the thing with these Aussies, isn't it? They're all tough and hard because they've got scorpions and crocodiles, but they can't deal with a European bug. They can't live with a little European flu bug. Knocks them out. So who's the toughest, eh? I mean, you understand a manta ray or something, but a cold, my word. So Noir Anteris out there. So yeah, I'm probably going to be doing the second stint. I am doing the second stint, but I'm going out first. I need some time to unwind and unravel. Play with me tinker. So GT Racer's just taken the fastest lap of the race. Fred Dude, he's got that podium wrapped up nicely. Nibbles fourth, and was there ever any doubt? I tell you, there was for me, because I thought Jay and Floris, but Jay's gone in. He's gone in and put some softs on. He had the time, I suppose. Did he lose the position to Floris as well? I didn't see that he'd lost the position to Floris, but maybe he thought it was inevitable. So he's gone in, he's put some soft tyres on. It's going to be tough to try and make up 30 seconds. But this is the fly in Dr. J's ointment. I thought it was a true-on battle, but he put the medium tyres on, where Floris and Nibbles both went sneaky, stealthy. They put the softs on, and then Dr. J had no chance. Noir Anteris then tearing it around to finish lap 65, and let's get 66 on, baby. 8 seconds though. GT Racer is pushing like Billy-O to try and gain ground on the BMW, but I imagine Noir Anteris is just teasing GT Racer. He's tickling his bumhole with a feather, and I don't think GT Racer really has an opportunity to take the win here today. I think Noir is just poodling. I say poodling. He's a tenth up on his teammate's fastest sector time. So there's no poodling for the BMW. Fred Dude, mighty fine race, but the Gen X just isn't friendly with tyres. And although the Corvette did seem brutal, the Gen X has seemed harder. Noir Anteris then smashing them out, doing the work that other men cannot do. One cannot step twice in the same river. That one's from Heraclitus. Clitus. That's an unfortunate name. One cannot step twice in the same river. Does that mean one cannot pee in the same toilet twice? What's a ridiculous thing to say? What do you think? He was just sat there next to the river one day, just playing with his Dodger, and looked and thought, one cannot step twice in the same river. Yeah, well, one cannot not piss up the same wall twice. Or something like that. So Noir's is leading the race with GT Racer. 7 seconds, really pushing is GT. He's not giving up on this one. And we are into the last minute. We're going to see that checkered flag, baby, swinging it. He's going to swirl that bad boy over his head like a lasso, because we're in the land of lassoing. And Noir's might just get across the line before that flag comes out. So a GT Racer then heading down the hill to the final corner. And again, the flag just not out yet for the two leaders. Fred Dude, though, I'm sure he is going to see our lassoing, flag-waving cowboy in the nice chaps on the podium swinging that flag. Like there's no tomorrow. Yeehaw. It's the two Americans on home soil, look, that did the win and the second place. And there we go. The flag should be out. Yes. And Fred Dude grabs himself a podium. Take a boo, my son. Nibles is... Oh, no, he's not the next to cross the line. There's someone else crossing the line. As we talk, it was Evil Dragon getting himself 7th. Irish Fox not quite. Not them too. Who's next? It's got to be Nibles. And there we go. The Finnish driver getting 4th. Probably not the position he wants, but it's probably the position he's going to get. Floris in 5th, and poor Jay. They tricked you, mate. They put softs on at the end there. It stitched you right up. We were going to have a big medium race at the end, but they both put softs on, left you high and dry. So Jay... Oh, no, Noir's crossed. I apologise. Noir's crossed. GT Race is coming around the final corner, and he grabs himself a fine 2nd place. I am so sorry, Noir. I thought I had longer than that. And Jay is bringing it around. The last man running finishes in 6th place. What a race. What a cracker. Clockwork out on top again. Big points against Stossilla. And we'll have a quick look at the winner's bum. Oh, come on. I want a tramp stamp just at the bottom there of their uniform. Noir, well done. Superb stuff. So, I don't know what to actually do. No, I don't want to go spectate. Sorry. We'll look at the results quickly. I'm going for a fag, and I know he wants to get the next race on the go. So Noir's takes the win. GT Racer 2nd. Fred Dude rounds out the podium. Nibles finishes in 4th. Floris in 5th. Dr. J is in 6th. Evil Dragon 7th, with the Fox of Ireland finishing in 8th place. I was your broadcaster and your commentator, Jen Ittlewarts. Thank you for joining us here at the AequepaX Racing, and I will see you after a fag. See you later, guys. Thanks for joining us. Big whoop. Whoop whoop. Peace and love. Peace and love. Hit like and subscribe. Hit like and subscribe. Hit like and subscribe.